So there were these moments where we would go to Nashville and interview these artists, and it was in a time where we were like, I don't know who this guy is from the next one. Um, but there were those artists that were huge. There were those moments that break through for you. Do you want to jump around since we're talking about Nashville and CMA Fest stuff? Do you want to jump a couple years into the future when we would meet Garth Brooks?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Let's talk about business, Garth.
Okay. So I think that you had made a note that like as we started growing, um, we were kind of looked at more for input.
Yeah. Yeah. So the meeting that we were invited to in Nashville was something that I think every major radio company did. iHeart specifically did this. They're called music meetings, where you get all of the major music decision makers in radio, i.e., music directors and program directors, invite them all to essentially, I think we might have sat in, it was very reminiscent of a college seminar room. And everybody sits around and they've got their notepads. New label comes up, they give
Mhm.
a presentation about their new artists. Um, New artist plays maybe 3 songs, and then, oh, surprise, our big artist is here, Miranda Lambert. And
Oh,
everybody, oh,
wow.
Miranda Lambert, oh, Blake Shelton too. Oh, it's great. So they tease you, they get you into it with the new artist, and then all of a sudden they bring out the big guy. Well, this was right when Garth Brooks had started his own music label. What was it called? Ghost
It's a
Records or
Ghost,
something
yeah,
like
Ghost. He had his own
that? Yeah.
Napster or something like that, right?
Yeah. You couldn't get his music on any other platform aside from this one. So
Ghost Tunes.
Ghost Tunes, yeah. Go look it up on Amazon, can't find it. Go look at Spotify, can't find Garth Brooks. You go to YouTube, it's all some dude singing Garth Brooks covers that kind of sounds like Garth Brooks. And the woman comes out, she says, without further ado, here's Garth Brooks. And this was when Garth was making his resurgence as kind of he was putting his music in the ring with all this bro country that had been kind of happening over the past, years. Florida Georgia Line was in the mix, Jason Aldean was in the mix, these guys. And it just like what was the song? There was a one particular song that was just weird. Like it just didn't fit, if that makes sense. Like Garth
Do you
Brooks,
mean the one that we played?
yeah,
Yeah, it sounded like 90s Garth. Like it
yeah.
was, which by the way, right now might be a huge hit. Right now in the world, in the state of everything, like 90s country might be a huge hit right now with the resurgence we're seeing. But at the time, it did not sound like anything else on the radio. It sounded like a Garth Brooks song from 10 years ago.
Was it Ask Me How I Know?
It might be.
No,
Yeah, I think so. No, I think you're right.
that was 2000. Yeah, so it was right around. So we have to ahead in the future a little bit. So like 2016 is when this was happening. Um, and so Ask Me How I Know was out there, and he got up on stage, and like we had interviewed Garth on the phone before, and it was so easy. I remember getting off the phone and being like, "Oh my gosh, that was the easiest interview I've ever done in my life. He's so nice. He's such a great guy." And he gets up in front of everybody, all these program directors and these music directors, and he says, "Why aren't you guys playing my new music?" In like a not happy Garth way. I
We did
don't
not
know.
meet the Garth Brooks you know. We met business Garth on this day.
Yes. And it was impactful for me, specifically because I had been, given this shroud of whatever he presents to the people, right? And then you see the money side, and it's an entirely different person. And then I start to go, wait, is this whole like Garth Brooks thing an act? Is this all just fake? Is it how many other artists are doing this? And then I go into this like existential crisis of what is Hollywood? What is Nashville? What are all these things? Are people just playing characters to sell records? Um, and I think that Tom Segura was right all along. And he might have bodies buried in his yard.
We have had great conversations even after that with Garth
Yeah.
and his wife. Like the Garth that you see, the customer facing Garth is a great Garth. He's the guy you want to know. I'm just looking, and it was shortly after that, March 3rd, 2017, when Ghost Tunes ceased operations, when he finally went over and said, "Okay, Amazon, you can sell my music because obviously no one's coming to Ghost Tunes to get my stuff."
Yeah.
Um, but I remember listening to that and going, "It sounds like old Garth," and that's not where we are right now. And yeah, I remember him specifically like lambasting radio and going like, "My daughters don't listen to your stations. I don't know why you wouldn't be playing my music." Like it was a different guy than I expected, and it changed. I remember it changed my views. And
100%.
ever since then, anytime somebody brings up Garth, I go, "Do I want to, you know, drop this into your cereal, if you know what I'm saying?" You know what I mean? Like, because this isn't, you're not gonna like this.
Yeah.
Um, but that is very much a thing. And meeting business Garth and getting to the business side of whatever is happening there, like really turned a light bulb on, I think, when it came to some of this stuff and seeing the business side of it.
Yeah.
Um,
It was another chip away at the armor for me, because as I started to see kind of the underbelly of how the music industry works, and it was not what I thought, in my naive mind, it was like, oh my gosh, you come up, you're talented, you got a great voice, you got a good stage presence, you're putting out good music, then you deserve to have the spotlight and you deserve to get the popularity and all the things. And then to see how manufactured that all was at those music meetings, very much, uh we're shoving streaming numbers in your face the entire time. We're trying to present these artists to you as if to say, play them, there will be money for you at some point. I don't know, I just the underbelly of any industry sucks, and
mhm.
every industry has them. But this is kind of a turning point for me, because I'm seeing that, all right, this is maybe not as passionate and maybe more money driven than I originally anticipated. So, seeing that was jarring. It was, and I have ruined people's perception of Garth Brooks, including one of my best friends, Ashley, who still hates me to the day for telling her everything that I told her at that from that meeting. But
A lot of
facetiously,
people
of course.
a lot of people say don't meet your heroes,
Yes.
and I think this is one of those moments, where and look, I like a number of bands, and I recall, like, being a huge Dave Matthews Band fan, the opportunity coming up, and I'm going, "No, I don't want to what I have in my head is what I want. Don't ruin it." You know what I mean? Like, after that experience with Garth, I never wanted to meet another person that I looked somewhat up to. I would much rather hold them in this light than find out that they're a douchebag. So yeah, Garth Brooks kind of a douchebag. Um, I guess that's a moral of the story there. I can only share my experience, and my experience wasn't great. Like all the like, "Hey, I'm here to entertain some people." Great entertainer. You know what I mean? Kudos. Not many artists can say, "No, I control where my music comes from." That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Kudos to Garth. But also, weird, man. Weird, man.
Hey, y'all. It's Garth Brooks. Welcome to the G spot, or the
Didn't
studio,
he's
G wagon.
he
Where
had
are we?
he was doing Facebook Lives for a while and Studio G. That's what it was. That's what
Studio
G
G.
spot. My God. How great would it have been if Garth suddenly went X-rated and was like, "What's up, y'all?" He grew the little thing back here. Was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Welcome back."
Chris Gaines, yeah.
That
Hey,
old Chris
y'all. You
Gaines
can buy
thing.
these G
That should
spot
have been the sign,
sweatshirts.
dude. Look at this guy playing another role in the middle of playing a role. So meta. What an actor playing an actor.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Uh,
Uh,
if you like Garth and you like that music, no disrespect to you, like the songs still hold like big places in people's hearts. All that history is there. Um, that shouldn't take any of that away. Just, I'm sure that there are people who would double down on it and be like, "Hell yeah, Garth can do that." That's cool.
mhm.
But when you were in that room, didn't feel cool. I'll tell you what, probably sounds cool when you're not involved, but when he's looking at you and going, "Why not?" And I kind of want to go like, "This is why, bro. What are you talking about?"
Yep.
you know, why
And
are
Garth,
why are you yelling at me about not playing your music instead of, I don't know, making new music?
this side of Garth Brooks will return in a future episode. Once we come back to St. Louis, there's a little bit of manipulation that his camp did
Oh, that's
because of
right.
not because we didn't play his single because it wasn't awesome. And we'll talk about that in a future episode.